Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel once again. Now, today I'm going to do a general gaming news video, and I've not done one of these for a while. Now, first of all, let's get what a lot of people have been waiting for, especially on the Star Citizen gaming front. The much anticipated Arena Commander dogfighting module, which is of course very early alpha code anyway. Now, it was scheduled to be released on the 29th, but that was with the caveat that any unforeseen circumstances could cause problems. Anyway, unforeseen circumstances did arise, and there's a few game stopping blocker bugs appear at the last minute, so it's been delayed, and the good news is that substantial progress is evidently being made, and hopefully Arena Commander should be being released to us all fairly soon. But we should actually really expect it to come anytime, because a lot of people have been angry about this on the forums, and a lot of people have been, like me, really, pretty laid back despite the obvious disappointment, because with a project like Star Citizen, which is so ambitious, and it's a project which is going to be very much for the long term, there's undoubtedly going to be a lot more delays in the future. And certainly with Arena Commander, with it being the first actual playable part of Star Citizen to be released, where we can fly the ships. Now, CIG does not want to release a totally broken build, because there's people out there who want this game to fail, and for various reasons, and I can understand people's sort of really getting disappointed, but we've all got to actually expect a few disappointments along the line because of the totally ambitious nature of the project. But the good news is that it will eventually be playable very soon, and of course in the meantime there's a big universe of gaming out there, so there's other games to play while we wait. And undoubtedly, even when we get the Arena Commander, we've got to expect probably other little bugs or even major bugs to appear, as it's totally very early code, and when everyone starts doing ridiculous things in either the single player or multiplayer part, things may well come to light. Anyway, that's my little rant on Star Citizen and Arena Commander, and it's still coming soon, and it's gonna be worth waiting for. Now, some other gaming news, and one of the major releases which I was really excited for this year was Watch Dogs, which came out last week. And to be honest, I play on all platforms, and I've got both next-gen consoles, and originally I'd ordered Watch Dogs on the PlayStation 4. However, it got delayed from the PlayStation 4 release date back in November, and I really put that on the back burner, and I sort of really then decided to get it on the PC. But after watching a few YouTube videos on some other channels, and Total Biscuit does a great WTF on Watch Dogs. I'm glad I actually held back buying it, because it seems to me it's not the game we all anticipated. It's pretty obvious that the E3 2012 trailer, the graphics have been really downgraded. Although it still looks pretty good on the PC, it's not really what I thought it was going to be. And bear in mind that it's pretty apparent that the PC is really a port of the PlayStation 4 version, albeit with obviously higher texture assets and the ability to run at higher resolutions. But it's not a great port, because even Total Biscuit, who's running 2 Titans in SLI, gets glitches, and he can't run it at a solid 60 frames per second. And bearing in mind, although the graphics look pretty good, you know, he said that, you know, in comparison to older games like Just Cause and Sleeping Dogs, you know, it wasn't a fantastic difference in graphics. So it's obviously a little bit of a port job there, and it's not really what you want a next gen title to look like and to turn out like. Plus gameplay wise, it really does look a bit, you know, like the hacking part of Watch Dogs, which we were all, you know, like sold on from the early trailers. In my opinion, it looks to me, you know, like that they could have done a much more with the mechanic. But why did it turn out like that? Well, I think undoubtedly the fact that they're still releasing Watch Dogs on the current gen, last gen consoles I should say, where the technology dates back to 2005, must be something which holds back the general scope of the game, you know, albeit the Xbox 360 and PlayStation 3 versions will obviously have scaled back assets. They've still got to have the general gameplay, and I think that's probably why Watch Dogs hasn't really turned out how many people thought it would be. Hopefully my next anticipated game from Ubisoft, The Division, which won't be made for current, well, old gen consoles as we should now call them, that's been delayed until next year, and hopefully that shouldn't have the problem, and I just hope that it does fulfill the promises from its early trailers. So that's Watch Dogs out the way. Now obviously while I'm talking on this, we've got some Battlefield 4 footage in the background, and it's actually a really good game now, and despite the early problems, especially on PC when the game came out, you know, it seems to be running fairly well, and I'm running it on Ultra on my PC, and the game looks fantastic. The Frostbite engine is really good. However, that is another game where I think developing for all the consoles certainly led to a lot of the problems when it got released, especially on PC. Anyway, on the subject of consoles now, the Xbox One certainly has had some testing times over the past year. Now, after doing a complete 180 on a lot of the initial announcements at the Xbox One reveal last year, things have moved in the right direction. Now, obviously the big news over the past month has been the announcement that a connectless Xbox One would now be available. So really, hopefully the price will come down on that, and will give people a cheaper option to get the Xbox One. And really, although I've got no problems with Kinect, I think it's a good piece of technology. It certainly does show that perhaps Microsoft should have invested the time and the money from the research into Kinect into maybe the gameplay GPU side of the Xbox One. Other Xbox One announcements which are positive news for users is from June there's going to be an update which will allow people to use external USB 3 hard drives to hold their games on. Now obviously the hard drives will have to be formatted just to work on the Xbox One, but as long as they're over 256 gigabytes in size, you'll be able to plug a USB 3 hard drive in, and it may well be faster than the hard drive inside your current Xbox One. So that's good news. Also announced was that Minecraft will be coming to Xbox One. That will be later in the summer, and I believe also that the E3 Microsoft press briefing this year will focus heavily on games. So expect a lot of announcements, like more news on Halo 5 and a special, probably HD versions of past Halo games are rumoured to be announced. Also, I think there'll be a lot more on the Insomniac game Sunset Overdrive, which I think looks pretty good. Obviously, there's not been a lot of news on the PlayStation 4 front. I think the most important news of the past month was the 1.70 update, which got rid of the HDCP block on capturing game footage, which is good news if you want to capture game footage for YouTube. So PlayStation 4 is still certainly in the lead on the console front. So that pretty much covers a lot of the general gaming news for now. Obviously I'll probably do another one of these after E3, and hopefully by that time, you never know, we may all have our helmets on and flying around in the Arena Commander dogfighting module. Anyway, whatever happens, there's a big universe full of gaming out there, so there's a lot of other games to play. And seeing that Star Citizen is a real long-time project, we're going to all be playing a lot more games before we're actually all playing the final Persistent Universe, and of course Squadron 42 in Star Citizen. But it'll be worth the wait. So until next time, I'll see you out in that big universe of gaming, out somewhere in the verse.